Welcome back, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Another episode of the Mattsby Tracker Morning Show. And I guess we're going live again tonight, for the Triumvirate.
Absolutely. Yep. Kat has called for a convening of the Triumvirate. So it'll be another fun show tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, good times. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and Tracker has some other quantum stocks he wants to talk about this morning, too. Did you want to do that first, or should I do these indices first?
Go do the indices first. Actually, my trading view is still having problems loading.
Okay, well, let's just get started here with the SPY. And we can see that still above the 585. Today, I have the daily chart just shown for you guys to see kind of how extended prices getting a little bit from all of the averages down here from the 585. So yesterday did have almost the ability to back test it, but it didn't. But we're still not really going higher from day over day. We're kind of staying around the same range. So is this kind of a resistance zone? It could be, right? So we could have the potential to go up a little bit higher, but all of these previous candles are going to be a pretty good resistance up there. So again, I remain cautious the more we go up, simply for the fact that it could make the back test feel a little bit more scary if and when it does happen. So don't count that out right now. I still think your daily support is 585, so that would be about from yesterday's closing. That's around 10 points lower than current price. So can't get too excited just yet because I think it might still need to back test or build a nicer base, at least on top of this 585 or a little bit lower. QQQ, we can see that same situation. It is approaching the previous highs as well. Right over here, these are in the 530s over here, and we got kind of close to that zone yesterday, 522, and also getting kind of extended down here for support. So yeah, your daily support does exist all the way back down here in the 499 zone, 497. So don't count that out as going back down there. So don't be too greedy up here. Be a little bit more cautious because going back to retest those zones could be possible. IWM, we can see that price is currently getting rejected by the 100-day moving average, and that is kind of your resistance zone for the past couple of days, and it is trying to stay above this 208.74, but this 100-day finally touched for the first time yesterday, and the last time it touched it was actually back here in February, so that's a good thing, trying to break resistance, but right now, we are a little bit extended from the conversion line, 203, the cloud down here, 201. So if it can't stabilize on top of this 204.74, it might need to go lower. But again, things are approaching a resistance, or in the IWM case, it is at resistance right now. So let's see if things can power through, but always be prepared for some kind of back test of previous resistance flip to support, which we really haven't had just yet. And with that, let me just talk about Bitcoin too. We can see that it's still stabilizing on top of the 103,611. This is all I'm focused on for the whole week, for the whole couple of weeks, really, right? We had a breakout, we had a back test last week. We already had a back test this week. We are at a point where it's looking possible for this 103,611 to actually trying to stabilize as a support. So if that trend continues, then we could see some great development in the crypto market.
That's fantastic. Why don't you show your Tesla chart real quick? And I just want to say a word about Tesla, which is I'm still waiting, and the market's still waiting for Tesla just to. It's right under the 50% retrace from that 214 low back to the 488 high. It's just right at the halfway point. So I think once it can flip over to the top of that 350 level, then we can have an explosion, a race to 400 and probably above 400. So all you 420 69ers out there, you'll have your heyday again soon here.
Yeah, I'm still watching this big resistance zone for Tesla right here. I'm still watching the baseline 351. I'm still watching the arc right there, which is around 356, 355, and the linear scale fib of 786, 347.58. So yes, it is up pre-market. Yes, it does have the ability to break this resistance, but you have to be mindful that it is still a very big resistance zone. So it is not breaking out just yet. Not
Yeah,
yet.
nothing yet. Let's see. Okay, so today, I'm gonna take my time. Instead of doing requests, I have 5 stocks to show you. One actually is a request. Someone asked me to do UNH again, and last time I looked at this, I looked at the 4-hour chart and I said, well, I think this is the resistance right here. I think it's just going to bounce under the 4-hour Ichimoku baseline and reject, and then go back to fight with the 11.4%, which it didn't really do. It just kind of skipped over it. Here's a little test back to it right there. Um, but because people won't stop talking about it, maybe that's the whole thing. It's like there's a lot of interest in it. So here's the MCDX Plus on the 4-hour chart, 40% institutional buying in, and it's moving up on the RSI. So just maybe because it won't get out of the zeitgeist, look forward to run up to, well, that it'll fight with this 23.6% fib retrace. Let me go back to the 8-hour chart, show you the bigger part here. So from where it was the last significant high, oh no, why is this, where? Oh, sorry guys. What is this attached to? Oh, that is, oh, sorry. I did do an impulsive setup. I thought this was a retrace, but these are impulsive waves. Anyway, so let me do the retracement here. Why did I swore I had this set up already. Is that the right? Come on. I want to get the numbers right. Just trying to get this to the top of right. I think it's this one. There we go. Okay. No, it is this one. Curse you. All right. So just retracing back to the 631 level from that 244.88 bottom, it would go 394, 339, and then 485.10. This weird purple thing is, I brought back the decadal anchored VWAP. This is a VWAP that's anchored off of 2020, and you can see it's well below the VWAP center. So yeah, I think let's see. Yep, this should actually go 394.89 to 339.09, and then 45.10. But it looks like the market is ready to accept this all the way back up to 526.43. I kind of want to put this back just like I had it. So yeah, maybe look for this 382, 236, 618, 526. So yeah, there's some upside to UNH. It's 63% from where price is now in pre-market to 526.43. But compare that to these other 4 stocks that I'm going to show you. These all have quantum in their name, starting with QBTS. From where price is right now, I thought, let's see, this would go to 1716 next. No, I'm sorry, 123.6 next. Yeah, it looks like it's skipping over 1570 and going for the 1382 at 1716. So 1716 next. It's almost already hit it in pre-market with a pullback to 1334. But if you get it now and ride it to the top, that's 72% from where price is now to the wave 5 top. Or if it does retrace back to this 100% level at 1334, and you catch it from 1334 to the top, 7% price improvement. So QBTS, this is actually a quantum company that's really good looking. QSI, this one's even more exciting because this isn't even above its 11.4% fib yet. You've heard me talk a lot about the 11.4 mini boss, the 23.6 and 382. The 382 is my minimum fib extension retrace target or extension target for this. To 296, that's 94.8% higher for prices now in pre-market to 296 for QSI. Actually, might be 7% almost. So QSI, it's a great place to enter in if you're not in here yet. QUBT, this one is also just coming up to the 382, but the market seems to want to take it to the 618. So from where prices now in pre-market, come here you. Yeah, it looks like it's got another 50% to go to reach $19.68 next. And then if that is resistance, it'll bring price back down to test the 236 again, which is a 49% down. But then once you're down there, if that is support, like I think it will be, then the upside from there is another 245% to get to the 123.6% fib extension at 3508. 50% higher, sell out, wait, rebuy it, and then run another 245% higher to 3508. And then finally, QS, which it says QuantumScape Corporation, but it's not quantum computing. They do batteries, solid state batteries. This had a really great 1-2. It didn't feel great for anybody who like bought up here at 480 and it plunged down to 390. But look, this is a 1-2, a very sharp 1-2, which means it's going to have a really nice bounce up. And so I've got this charted on my 8-hour. Yeah, I think it wants to go to the 764, the really bullish one. So that is from where price is now in pre-market, 24% higher to the 764, back to the 382, which would take it down about 11. And then from there to the 1382 is another 32% higher. So these are all good plays. These ones with quantum in their name: QBTS, QSI, QUBT, and QS. And there you go. That's my little section for today. And now, Matt, everything you want to do, or if you have any questions or anything about these.
No, I think somebody wanted to see your LAES chart too
Oh
because
yeah,
it's
LAES. So this one's. I was
yeah.
telling Matt about this one. I forgot. Uh, I have been tracking this very carefully, very closely, for this small setup, where it was going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 23.6 fib. And it looks like in pre-market, it did run up to the 1382. So if it sells off at the open, it'll probably sell off to $3.12. My number key to turn off. 312. So from 335 to 312, and then it should run up to test the 23.6, the larger degree 23.6 at 434 next. And that's where I see. So let's see. If you just bought in now and didn't, this might sell off really fast and then go right back up again. It might be hard to catch $3.12, or it might not. Might take all morning. Who knows? But it's 28.5% higher, which of course we know is just the beginning. It's going to want to get over the 23.6 and at minimum extend to my 38.2% fib, which is 74% higher from where price is now. If you catch it at 312, it'll be about 88% higher. And if you just buy it and then hold it for a while, I mean, LAS, this cycle, the larger degree cycle takes it up to the 2382. No, I'm sorry, the 2236 at 2576, which was 702% higher from where price was yesterday. 656% higher from where price is right now in pre-market. So yeah, LES looks like it's doing the thing. And all that does, this 5 waves up, just takes it to a 78 points of its starting all-time high at 3519. So one day, this will probably keep going to Matt's 127.2 or the 141.4 up here at 44 or $49, which just for giggles, 1,366% higher from where price is right now. So there you go. LAES also a really good buy even now, even after it's run up here in pre-market, and it looks like it's think it's not topping. It's just on the way. What will become support soon at $4.34. And there you go. Back to you, Matt.
All right. Yeah, I got some Rocket Lab here on deck. And Rocket Lab had a breakout, had a back test of the baseline already, it looks like, on my weekly chart here. So, yeah, it went up last week, broke out above, went down to back test that $24 zone. And now it's finally looking like it's ready to continue its journey higher. So it's been slowly going in the right direction here. And from the bottom, right from the bottom here, it just recovered back on that 886, and after it recovered that 886, it was just a slow grind higher. So now I think we could start to move towards the upper range again, which is around 28, and that blue level is around 29.70. So this is going to be your next resistance zone, but I think it has the ability to get there, but not sure if it's really going to break out the first time. It might just form in like a lower high from here, maybe then go back down and retest levels again, and then maybe the third time possibly try to break out. So the closer it gets to resistance, I'll be a little bit more cautious. But yeah, this maintained. Once it flipped all of this to a support, it just kept on going higher. So I like it above 24, right? Staying above that 24, I think it's going higher.
Someone asked about they said the UNH is just trying to fill those 3 gaps. I turned off my 8-hour chart, went back to the daily chart, and you can see 3 big old gaps. Thanks, Matt. Let's see. So here's 1 or 2, 3 gaps. It filled the first gap already. So yeah, this takes it back to the 76.4% fib extension. If that does it, that's kind of crazy because that would mean it would be setting up for a 764, 382, 1382, 2382. I need to turn this to that one. Yeah, 1382. I don't know. I don't see why this would do it, but I don't know anything about UNH either. But yeah, if sentiment really did take this up to 592, look for it to come back down to 420.44. I'm just gonna for fun, I'm gonna put 420.69. Yeah, 592 to 429.69, and so on and so forth. Let's just one crime at a time. Let's see if it gets to 592 first, though.
Yeah.
There you go.
On my
UNH.
on my UNH chart, it's just
Go ahead.
retracing. It's just retracing back to maybe the norm, but I don't know if it's really going to come all the way back up to the 420s just yet. I think there is going to be some delay. Resistance on the way back up, especially maybe near the top of this big bearish engulfing candle. It might start to stall out above there in the 370s. Also, what I'm looking at the most is the monthly chart here. Breaking below this monthly 100, breaking below the monthly cloud. That's really the first time since 2008. Yeah, back down here, 2009, 2010. So if this closes the month of May below both of those levels, that could really just flip to a resistance, and this could be the beginning of a bear market. And the last time it was below the cloud, it was below the cloud for years, right? Since 2008, and then it finally got out of the cloud in 2011. So if we have some kind of trend like that, then it could actually even gravitate down to the 200, just like it did the last bear market too. So we can't count this out. This is not looking like it's ready to reverse this trend just yet, but there is still 10 days left. Maybe this could just turn into a long wick and then close back inside the cloud here by the end of May. And if so, it could get saved, right? But if not, be prepared for maybe a big rejection up here and then a continuation lower. So this one is at risk of just doing nothing for years. So let's find out how this month closes.
Yeah, there's much better out there. You don't have to go after this one just because everyone else is. And in fact, it could make it a crowded trade, and the market manager, the money managers might look at the options market and start putting their thumb on the scale and doing rug pulls and stuff.
And the real opportunity was right here, back at the 2018 high. Like once we got that back test there, it just went through all those golden pocket fib ratios. It just sliced right through it, got all the liquidity there and bounced. That was the true opportunity. But now trying to get it here at the 1.272, actually it's still below, by the way. That is kind of your first resistance level. Then you got the 1.414, 343 to deal with, another resistance level on the way back up. So yeah, like the fear down here, just be more cautious on the way back up because it's not guaranteed to close back above. And I do have actually, I was going to do Run next, Run and Blackberry. So Sunrun, I know people were talking about this move lately, and what I see on the weekly chart here is breaking above some levels here, and we finally got back above the baseline and the conversion line. That's a good thing. Now it's battling the blue angle again as a potential support. Um, Maybe it can try to flip that to a support, but right now, last week it got rejected by both the 100 week and the 50 week moving average, so it did get its mean reversion basically back up here, and now we're just battling battling resistance. So if it can't break above this, we might need to go back down to retest the baseline conversion line, maybe the 930s. But once it can really establish a base again on top of this blue angle, like it was here, then I think it'll have the ability to break above. But right now, it is a battle. It's not above it currently pre-market, so we'll see if it can stabilize on top of that, which is really around 1140. So we'll see if that 1140 can become a support. If not, maybe back to the nines first before breaking higher. And Blackberry BB is looking stronger and stronger too. We can see that it is breaking back above the conversion line as well. So we do have the baseline up there at 430. Then we got the 200 week up there at 496. So I do think it was just a big breakout to this 236, a huge backtest of this Ichimoku cloud, and now we're kind of just range bound, looking for some direction. But I think if you give it enough time, I think it can slowly just overcome one of these resistance levels at a time. And the real breakout zone is going to be this 555. So if you want this thing to explode, I think it's going to have to flip that from a resistance to a support, and we're not there yet, which could take some weeks or months to get there until it's ready to do that. But I think the trend is back in the uptrend. It's a higher high, it's a higher low than before. So I think it's just going to take some time to get there. But once it gets there, I think it'll have the opportunity to go higher. So tracker.
Let's see. I can give your voice a rest for a second and do. I've got Big Bear AI. This is one of my favorite stocks. It's now the LAES became the largest position in my portfolio because of all the bullish movement it's been making lately. Big Bear AI has become the second largest, also because it's gotten bigger since I just a little bit since I bought it right down here. Yeah, I'm looking for Big Bear AI. It's beaten the 11.4% mini boss and has already tested the 23.6, so went back to 11.4. So the next move, well, actually didn't quite test the 23.6, but the next move is to get to 23.6 and then get over it and head for the 3.2. So at minimum, I'm looking for it to go another 54% higher to $5.91. Then maybe test back to 455. And then after that, be the 123.6% fib, which is from where price is right now, about 265% higher to 1390. So Big Bear AI looks great. It's bullish on the 8-hour chart. That's 72%. Institutional buyers and retail has been dwarfed out by them. Even on the on the daily chart, it looks a little different. It says 31%. Let's just give it today to see what happens with the MCDX plus. But I like to look at it on the 8-hour charts. And there you go, Big Bear AI looking really good. It's good. It'll just get over 455 next, and then on to 591.
Okay, I have XEL here. And XEL, so I just drew a quick fib from the high to the low. Actually, let me go a little bit lower to that wick down here. And it's really just battling the 886, and it has been battling this 886 since it hit back in November of 2024. So you can see how big of a resistance that really has been. Even in the past, you can see it's been rejected at that zone multiple times. So is it ready to break through this time? Maybe, right? The chart is bullish. It's above all the indicators. It's above the 786. So I think as long as that 69.68 does hold as your support, I believe this 73.30 is potentially going to get broken and then go back towards the all-time highs up here, 77.66. So it is looking better and better. It's just been very, very slow to get to the previous highs up here. So 73.30 is your target to break above. And I see a question about Hood going to 100, I mean, yeah, I think Hood is going to go way past 100 in the future, right? Not necessarily right away, but we do have this new boss right here, which is the 886 fib trying to break above. We are at 63.74 with that fib. Pre-market 64.16, so it is above it, but we haven't had a weekly candle close above it since it did close above there back in February. So we do need some kind of confirmation it does want to break that. We don't really have it yet. Let's wait for a weekly candle close to see if it can. And then after that, we got all-time highs, right? That's the next step after that. That is $85 way back in 2021. And now after that, I see it going higher than that. I see it going to a minimum of maybe 145, but I think there's a really good possible of going at least to the 240s and maybe even the 400 if people are wild enough to believe that, the 1.618. And you know what? A lot of stocks already do that, right? Palantir is on its way to the 1.618 on log scale. MSTR already hit its 1.618 on log scale, so it's not out of the question for Robinhood to do it as well. So 400 could be impressive, but I know a lot of people don't believe it at the moment because it's only $64. But that is what makes me want to believe, because a lot of people doubt these fib extensions all the time, but that is usually the targets after they break all-time highs.
Yeah, it's so funny that it always looks so much more procedural when you look at it on logarithmic scale, and on linear scale, it's like, "Oh, no, there's no way it could do that." And log scale, it's like, "Oh, yeah, it could do that."
Yeah, I mean, when
It just needs
Palantir was under
logarithmic.
10 bucks, when Palantir was under 10 bucks, nobody would have thought it would be $160 like just a year later.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and or like $130, whatever it was, just a year later. It's just crazy. But these are the power of growth stocks, and crypto is going to be huge for Coinbase. It's going to be huge for Robinhood. And when alt season or whatever you call it takes off, I think they'll be a big beneficiary of that.
Yeah, I agree. I got ASPI if you want to take a moment. All right, so here's ASPI, and this was and previously I tracked this with a 1-2. Looks like I should have put this right here. And it went higher than the 2382. This thing just kept going. It ended up melting up to what looks like about 300%. It went to 300% and then an ABC back down. And now where we are in the larger cycle, when I take the all-time low to the all-time high back to the let's see, March 5th low. Yeah, I can see why people are asking about ASPI because look at it take off right now. It looks like it's headed for the 618 at $9.40. It could go to the 764 at 1076. So those are the two levels to look at. Just write this down or take a screenshot. $9.40 is the first resistance. Oh wait, no, it already kind of went up and back. So maybe it's done with the 618. Anyway, the support level I would look for would be the 23.6 down here at 585. You can see there's a buy order block set up down here. It's already below the 382. I don't know if it stabilizes back on top of the 382, maybe it'll go back to the, but right now I'd say it already topped out pre-market, which is weird. To the and then back to the 23.6. So then after that would be the 123.6 at $15.16. So if it goes to 585, then that's 158% higher to 1516. If it finds support of the 382 and goes to the 764 instead to make this sort of like an A, B, C, and that's where it actually ends up going. Whoops. Then your retrace is actually to the 382 for support at 721. So it'd go 1076, then 721. Sorry, it's a little confusing, but this stock is moving fast, so it's hard to know for sure until it actually pegs one of these fibs for me. And there you go. And then so yeah, this thing it went up to 300% before. If it did it again on the larger degree scale, let's just make you a 3. I would take it to 3158 or 350% higher than where price is right now. So that's crazy, but crazy good. ASPI, I guess it's an energy play on nuclear. I'm just guessing with the isotopes in the name. All right, there you have it, ASPI.
Very good. And let's do some charts I haven't done in a while. I'm gonna do ELF right here. Eyes, lips, face. And we can see it's regaining the green angle here, which is fantastic for a recovery. And that's what I wanted to see the whole time, of just price to stay on top of it. We did get that V bottom to the 1.272 fib perfectly, and the blue arc and the blue level of the GAN. So this back test looks like it has been completed, right? This big breakout over many, many years finally back tested the zone that it never back tested ever before. See, it was a big breakout right here back in February 2023. But finally, after all these years, we got the back test. And there we go. Now price has potential to stabilize on top of this angle, which kind of sits around $76 right now. And then we got a big resistance zone coming up here at the previous level, right? If we go back in time, what is that? Oh yeah, the 1.618. All right, it's my little purple numbers in the way. The 1.618 at 86.27, and the 200 week moving average is at 88.22. So I think price can gravitate up there, but it might get rejected for a little bit before it tries to break out. So it could just be maybe stuck in this little wedge formation here before really trying to go higher. So just be prepared for the $86 to $88 resistance zone. But I think as long as it stays above 76 now, I think it'll go higher and higher slowly over time.
Greed will fix everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just you don't have to switch to me. I just want to say, Parakshif Janagama says, "Can we do miners?" I think you and Kat have done so much work on the miners in the last few weeks. We should do a significant section of the show tonight on looking at
Yeah,
the
I
miners
think
and comparing and contrasting.
yeah, I think we can. They are looking better and better, like almost all of them. And I talk about them every day on my morning live stream as well on the tier 4. But yeah, we can discuss them tonight, but I don't know if we have enough time right now. Only
No,
got
no, not
time
I
for a
don't
few
I don't
more
know.
charts. Yeah.
All right. You pick out whatever you want. If there's something you want me to do, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do
I like
probably one more before I run away. Let's see. If I had if I had to pick one of these to hold, would I choose coin or MSTR? I would choose coin, for the simple fact that it's like Robinhood has not made all-time highs, right? MSTR has been already making all-time highs from its previous cycle, so that's why I would choose coin. But the last chart I will do is going to be, let's see here, OKLO. Let's do OKLO here. OKLO. So OKLO, just got a couple of fibs here that I'm paying attention to, and we can see that the 1.618 is right there at $40 and maybe 80 cents, and we can see the 1.414 is still in that same range, 31.63. I think this is the important thing to pay attention to. We are basically exactly at that 1.618 pre-market, so be a little bit cautious here. It had a giant move already, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big weekly candles in a row. It had a destination. Could this be the destination, the 1.618 before a rejection? The answer could be yes, right? Which kind of means that we do need to be a little bit cautious, and it could easily, since it's a volatile stock, it could easily come back down to retrace the low 30s again before trying to break that resistance. So let's see if it can start to close candles above this zone, the 40.80. If so, then I think possibly can go higher to the resistance above here. But we are at a big resistance, so just be cautious until we get some sort of confirmation with that.
I've got some, I don't know, breaking news on OKLO, which is that it's past my 38.2% fib extension. It's funny. Matt says 40. If it can get over 40.80, you won't have to wait long because it's at 40.78 right now in pre-market. But according to my chart, looking at it, it really looks like it wants to go to the 764. There's a whole bunch of buy ready for it to test the all-time previous high. That would be really crazy bullish. Let's walk you through it first. It's already past the 382. The 50% is probably right here at 44.37. I'd look for that as a possible resistance. If it can get over 44.37, then the 618 is next at 50.53. But if it really does do this thing and it kind of tops all the way up to here, 58.35, come back down to 30.70, 37.88 as support now instead of where I thought it was going to be resistance. And then from 37.88, we've gone on to the, and I have to switch this, the 1382 at 91.45. So I won't bore you with the 4 and 5 yet. Let's just see if we get the 1, 2, 3 like this first. So if it goes to the 786 and retests, it'll come just shy of the previous all-time high, 58.35. That's 43% higher than where price is right now. If it tests back 37.88, and you can't, I caught the whole thing ideally from the 382 to the 1382 is 142%. So there you go, OKLO. And I wasn't even going to cover OKLO, but I had a peek at it, and what I was going to do was LUNR. I hadn't done LUNR in a while. This will be my last one.
Okay.
Intuitive Machines, LUNR. It is already above the 23.6. It's established it as support. So my next target higher is 1448. So for the 38.10 would be about almost 20% higher to 1448 next. If it keeps running, then the 618's next or the 764. But let's see if it get to the 382 first, which would send it back down to the 23.6 at 1129. And there you have it. Tune in tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Triumvirate, Great Mattsby and Cantonese Cat and myself. We hope we'll see you there. We'll do it live, and we'll focus on miners tonight.
Yeah,
Matt,
let's do it.
Words.
We are in like I don't know, I would say maybe a consolidation at higher levels, but I think people are getting a little bit too complacent here when things are approaching resistance. So just be a little bit cautious until if we get some kind of a retrace back to previous resistance, flip to support. That's what I'm really waiting for. There seems like there wants to be, like I see even in your little 4 there's looking for a retrace as well, right? Which means we got to be a little bit cautious in this zone. It's not guaranteed to break out the first try. So
all I've done here is I've taken your fibs here, and we got over the 786. We got back and tested back to a support right here, and I think it's going to fight with 88.6. Maybe send it back to 786 one more time before I can get the inertia to break out and make a new all-time high for the SPY. And that would take it to the 120 would be 648.98. And if it goes to the 141, 667.
Yeah, I'm expecting that 585 back test too. So that's what I'm waiting for. Let's see if it happens.
All right. It'll be a great opportunity to sell high and then rebuy lower and do it all again. Bigger this time. More feeling.
All right. We'll see you guys tonight. Have a great day.
Good luck out there, everybody. Look for a little higher and then sell at resistance and then look to buy lower. There you go.
All right. Bye, guys.
Good luck, everybody. Bye.